Hi, this is Alex from PHP Academy. In this video, we're going to be creating an SEO URL parser. Essentially, this parser is going to sit at the base of any site that you want to create, and it's going to allow us to create SEO-friendly URLs and implement these on any page of our website. And essentially, what this is going to do is it's going to have an htaccess file, a parse.php file, and this is going to allow us to create really beautiful URLs that we can just pass data to if we need. So we're going to have a look at the directory structure of the site that I've temporarily set up for this. Then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the working demonstration and see what this does. So you can see at the moment in front of you, you have the directory structure for the site. So we've got an htaccess file and a parse.php file. These are two files that we're going to be working on, specifically writing some decent code in. The rest of the files are just there for templating purposes, or just pages that we're maybe outputting data on, or just showing as a header or footer or something like that. So index.php contains just this. You can see this text here. Let me just move this out of the way. So that will just contain that. If we were to visit /forum, we would see another index page with some more content on, and that's a bit more dynamic. So we're going to be passing parameters to the URL in an SEO friendly way, and we'll see the output of that. Inside template, we've got header, a footer. So header is just this part here, footer is just this part here, and 404 is the page that we will display to the user, obviously within our main content area here, if that page cannot be found. So we'll look at an example of that as well. So let's take a look at actually how this works. So we're currently on localhost. This would be a domain name if you've implemented this somewhere on an actual web host. So something.com, blah, blah, blah. We've landed on this and we're automatically including the index page, which I mentioned just a moment ago, which is here. Inside forum, we have an index page as well. So if we do /forum, we can see now we're getting a different page up. We're not specifying .php, but what this is doing is it's not actually reading index.php. Okay, this will work, but not for the reason that it's actually accessing index.php. What it's actually doing is it's having a look inside of here and it's finding this file. Let's just move this out of the way. It's finding this file inside of here as an index file, so it's including it. So what we're actually looking at here is parse.php. We're just, interpreting the URLs in a different way. So, for example, if I was to create a file here called contact.php, let's just assume this is the site that I'm currently running. So if I was to create a file called contact.php, and I'm going to say contact us, then what's going to happen here is when we visit /contact, this finds the contact.php file and includes it. Otherwise, if we had a folder called contact and maybe a file inside called email.php, let's just go ahead and edit this, alex@phpacademy.org. Then what's going to happen is we can say contact email and we get this up. So this is /contact /email.php. So this is really fluid, the way that you can start to include things. Now in forum earlier, we saw this hello guest, you are 0 years old. And this is just demonstrating passing parameters through to the URL. Anything after a file that can't be found. So for example, if I was to say name /Alex, name is not a file within forum, so it doesn't interpret it as to include name.php. It actually sees it as a variable, so it includes it in here. And then here we can say age and then specify an age, and it does the same thing here. And if we look inside here, you can see that if is set globals q, which stands for query, name exists, then output this, otherwise output guest, and then the same for age, otherwise output 0. So this is a great way to now pass variables either from page to page or submit things, and also a great way to, if you're developing a site, just quickly include create files and they're instantly available for guests or users of your website to access in an SEO friendly way. And then we can also pick these up for things like forum topics, for example. So we could have forum topic, and then we could have some SEO friendly name here. Now this would be slightly different because we'd pick this up in a slightly different way, but once we go through parse.php, you'll see how this becomes achievable. So last but not least, if we have a file or directory that doesn't exist, so let's just say no exist, we say sorry, we couldn't find that page, and that is basically the contents of the 404 page, which we include if we can't find a page. So this is the SEO URL parser. It's not too difficult to set up, but there are some complex parts to parse.php. The htaccess file part of this is really easy, but once you've got this set up, it's absolutely brilliant.